Hello, YouTube. It's been a little bit. I'm going to make this my official 100th wee blether. Ask a Scotsman what that means. Just means wee talk, wee blabbing, wee conversation. Yep, I just wanted my 100th wee blether to be something a little more prosaic than what this video actually is. I want it to be like, I want to answer Michigan Piper's "Who am I?" question, or forget who posed the question, what was your favorite book? Childhood book and adult book. I'm sorry, I forgot who posted that. Also wouldn't have minded doing the Secret Origin YTPC, or how I got into the YTPC, but I've just figured I'd just catch you up on stuff that's been happening. Anyway, I didn't answer any messages on my last video because I was kind of down in the dumps. Bill being in a relapsing and all. So he's been back in the hospital a little over 2 weeks. He's had another procedure done. Now he's got this sucking pump at his incision. And also, what else? And he needs antibiotics for the next month. But the fun part was this. You can file this under the God Bless America column. His insurance was going to his insurance was going to cover, after getting out of this fairly upscale rehab facility, he was going to go into a step down facility, which means more patient to nurse ratio, and his insurance was going to cover that, and he's going to be gone out of the house for another month. And we've had a bad experience with one of those step down facilities. It was not pretty, so we're kind of stressing about what we should do. Excuse me for a minute. So they had us pick out the first facility we want to go to, which is Villa Crest, which is literally like a quarter mile that way. I could have walked to go visit him. It would be almost like being home. But guess what? That wasn't available. Not enough staffing. Ever since COVID, especially. So we tried the next one. Same thing. And by that time, I was starting to say, you know what? I'm bringing him home. Only because, sometimes the universe kind of nudges you into different directions about which path you should take. So the more signs I saw, the more I said, you know what? I'm just taking him home. I'm going to take the tutorial course on how to change out his IV line. He's not going to have a full-on IV line, but it's going to be a bag full of antibiotics, which he has to do like 3 times a day, and it's like a half hour's worth of liquid each. So and a visiting nurse will come in once every 3 days to change his dressing that surrounds the suck pump. He calls it Wilbur, like Wilbur the pig from Green Acres, because it sounds like a pig when it's pumping. Anyway, so I'm doing that. That's going to be like $340 a week for like 3 or 4 weeks, and we don't care. We're just going to put it on credit. God bless America, because I think he would be better at home than waiting around, and quite frankly, a pissy smelling facility, if my experience is anything to go by, and with basically 20 patients to one nurse, ratio. So I think he'd recover better at home, especially if a nurse can come in and changes a liquid cartridge and changes dressing around his pump. So by that time, I'll be heading back to work right around the last week, maybe, and I'd rather just have him at home. I know how miserable he would be in a step-down facility. Bill's a natural warrior, so we just basically just hashed around the idea, and we decided, guess what? We have money for that after all. So that's what we're gonna do, and that's what's been going on. And the thing is, you think that you're handling things okay, and oh well, I'm just kind of riding along with it. But of course, I start to notice my mood is really starting to slip, like it's getting kind of bitchy. Um, so yeah, it's been kind of a roller coaster ride the last 2 weeks. Again, it's not anything terminal, it's not anything catastrophic, but any medical problem, especially here in the United States, you got to factor in that you got to factor in the monetary value. How much do I have to pay for this? It sucks, but can I afford? Can I afford to do this on my own, or can I afford the treatment? Of course, if you're rich and can afford it, you're all set. But if not, you've got choices to make. Excuse me. So that's the plan. That's what we're doing. Um, I've been watching your videos, of course. Um, I'm glad Hoot and Briar got my sense of humor with the comment that I left. My sense of humor is not exactly the brightest and cheeriest, so I'm glad I didn't scare him off. Eventually, I'll do a reintroduction video having to do with who am I, what was my secret origin regarding the YTPC, and the books that I like to read, because I do love reading, as some of you know. Currently, I'm in the middle of Dracula, of all things, my first time reading it. Seems appropriate for the season. The wind is helping me out, keeping my pipe wet. Yeah, Dracula. It's a classic Victorian novel, and of course, you're kind of like, oh, am I going to have the patience to read this because of the language and the whole thing? And this is one of those, like, unlike most books that scholars and literary elites like to gush on about. Um, Dracula lives up to the hype. I mean, yeah, it's Victorian language, but it's all told through letters and diary entries, and it really expertly crafts a very grim, doomy, dreadful atmosphere, and I'm really enjoying it. So I'm gonna probably tonight. I'm gonna take a break from the Halloween series and probably watch the 1958 Hammer Dracula production. It looks to be the most similar to the book, and who can sneeze it like Christopher Lee as Dracula and Peter Cushing as Dr. Van Helsing. Come on. Dr. Van Helsing was a Fox Mulder before there was a Fox Mulder, especially with some of the speeches that he hits Dr. Seward with. You have to open up your mind to extreme possibilities, is what it is. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it, and I'm probably going to end up continuing reading horror until deep into the winter. just because, I don't know, it seems the season for it. You know, everything's dark, everything's gloomy, no hope, no light. Anyway, I just wanted to say hello. Thank you for those of you who've been checking in with me. Bob, Truck and Piper Bob, I appreciate you asking. Same with you, Dale Piper. So, yeah, things are pretty well. They're not ideal yet, but we're working our way back. Take care of everything, finish this pipe up, and head on in. All the best, friends. Cheers. And also, again, if I haven't done already, thank you for my new subscribers. Cheers.